Hello friends, this is Saran. I welcome all the viewers to my channel. Before we start, I would request all my viewers to like, subscribe and share the video. Our topic for the day is something interesting. People are aware about this chart but they don't know how to perform it. And there are people who haven't heard about this chart even. So the name of the chart is a waterfall chart. Yes, a waterfall. Now, how does this waterfall and why do we or when do we use a waterfall chart? So let's get started. A waterfall chart is a form of data visualization that helps in understanding the cumulative effect of sequentially introduced positives or negative values, such as given in the Excel, you can see there are months in the A column. So these are the months which has some start over balance, and then end is the closing end of the total summation. You have a net cash flow. So this is just an example. It's a sample data. You can use your own data of your respective organization. Data where you have some negative values and positive values, and you want to show this trend to your clients or your bosses. It's just in a graphical way, right? So rather than just putting this data in the Excel and sending as an attachment is also one of the workaround, but then this work will not have that impact. So it's better. Now people love creativity, so let's be creative enough to create something new and try to impress our bosses, all right. So how do we go about it? So creating a waterfall chart is a very simple way to do that. But before creating a waterfall chart, you need to spend more time in making the database. Now you have something called that is in month, the data is in months, and you have some cash flow which you can see some cash flow is in negatives and then some things in positive. Now with the help of this data, I cannot just directly go ahead and make the column chart, because if I go ahead and make the column chart, so there will be some columns will go downwards, and we don't want to show downwards because it's a negative. It will go downwards. We want to show everything positive, but there are certain zigzag way. All right, so some negatives going down, positives going up, something like that, right? So we need to first segregate this data into positives, negatives. So how do we go ahead and do about it? So first, you in between A and B column, you just have to insert a couple of new rows. All right, so in this I'll insert a couple of rows like this. So select and right click and insert like this. This was unnecessary created. All right, so first what you need to do is, now we'll have to find out the trend. Now in the data you have a start balance, so I'm just right here as start. All right, in the data you have something called end as well, so I'm gonna write end. In the data you have something in negative, so I'll consider that as down. In the data you have positive value, so I'll consider that as up. All right, there is one more column which needs to be inserted. I'll let you know when that needs to be done. So let's get started and to calculate some mathematical things here. Now for a start value, I have only one start value, that is 4500, so I'm just copy and paste it here. Then in uptrend I have values out of this column, that is F column, some values in positive, some columns the values is in negative, but I want to put my as it is value here, and I want only positive values. If something negative, I want that to be shown as 0. So in order to perform that, we'll use a mathematical formula that is called as maximum formula. So in order to do that, equals to max, use a tab, that's open bracket for you, select F3, comma and 0. So why did I select 0? 0 is the minimum and maximum is what is given in the F column. So I'm telling this mathematical formula to put what is maximum in it. So maximum is 5687. So first let me close this formula, hit enter, it says 5687. So I'll copy this formula, I'll paste it below. There you go. So in the month of April, column D, which is uptrend, it shows 0, which means it is not considering maximum value out of it because it is in negative. So it is considering 0. Now in the downtrend, here a little change in the formula. Now we're going to use a minimum formula. Again, it's a mathematical formula. It's a downtrend. We'll use a minimum. Down means minimum going down towards. So equals to, but I'll apply one more formula before minimum is negative because I want to find out negative values in it. Minimum, I'll select this, comma, 0. Alright, close the bracket, hit enter. So it says whatever positives will be shown as 0 and whatever negatives will be converted into positive, but still it is a downtrend. Alright, now since we have start value is already there in the start column, we have the data cash flow divided into positives and negatives. There is one column which we need to add that will sum up this entire column's data, that is C, D and E. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll select B, right click, click on insert, and you can write here as sum, just as a base value. Alright, so the sum formula would be equals to SUM sum, open the bracket. I'll select this upper value, upper column, because when I'll copy and paste below, I want the upper cell value also to be copied and add further. I'll use comma and two more positives because I'm doing a summation of positive values. So my two positives are here. I'll close this and minus my negative data. So this is D3 is my negative. Whatever data negative downtrend I don't want to get calculated in the summation. I'll hit enter, copy this, paste it below. So there you go. You have a summation only on positive data. So this is all positive data, removing your downtrend. So it has only up and start. This is something that has been already removed. So in the end, you have end value. So this end value, you just have to select and drag towards right so that your end data column is also filled. So you have now summation, you have the data, end, you have the data, down, you have the data, up, you have the data, start, you have the data. So this net cash flow has been divided into this respective columns. So now we don't want this at all. We'll select and just hide this. Alright, now with the help of this, we will start making a waterfall chart. Now how do we go about it? Select from A1 till the end, that is F15. Then go to insert. Under the charts, you have a column charts. Under the column, you have 2D, 3D. Alright, so we'll select, for an example, we'll select 2D stacked, not the clustered one. We'll select the stacked one. Alright, there you go. And now we will first delete this grid lines. Select user keyboard, hit delete. Your blue data, which is a summation data, you just have to right click because we don't want to see that. We just want to see what is up and down trend in my data. So I'll select, go to format data series. Then I'll go to fill in line. Again in fill in line, I'll click on no fill, and then in the border, I'll click on no lines. Alright, and then I'll close this. So this is your waterfall. Alright, this is a by default chart title. I'll just make it as a waterfall chart. And as I always say, that you just have to work on creativity, right? So there are a lot of designs available. You can play with in and around with the designs, make your own designs if you want. Let's be some creative, right? So let's try and make a waterfall. I hope you're using MS Excel 2010 onwards, 13, 16. I'm using 2013. I hope you guys have desktops, laptop respectively, and you're doing it right away. So Excel is all about practice, right? So while watching this, please do practice and follow the steps the way I said. So this is the waterfall chart. The gray lines are negative data. If you want, see, when I click on gray line, it gets highlighted down, which means these three data points are negative, right? So if you want, as we discussed in the earlier videos, if you want, you can right click and change the color. You can make it a red or something like that. Positives, you can right click, change the color into green respectively. So further innovation, creativity, it's completely up to you. You can change the color the way your organization or processes want. Alright, negative, you can show it into a red color, positives into a green color. You just have to play with the colors. And in the previous videos, I have already told how to change the colors. So friends, I hope you have liked the videos and you have learned something new. Please like, subscribe and share this video. Thank you so much.